There are no facts. First-hand accounts have an inherent subjectivity to them. People lie, and memories fade. All of this is what's meant to make Tell Me Why so intriguing. But while the characters and world are brimming with charm, pulling the thread to reveal the secrets of this fictional Alaskan town's not-so-mysterious murder proves to be the least compelling part of the whole adventure. You switch between the perspectives of twins Allison and Tyler Ronan, reunited 10 years after their mother's death. Over the course of 8.5 hours that span 3 episodes, the two prepare to sell their childhood home, which proves to be both a physically and emotionally exhausting task. But despite being completely separate from Don't Nod's Life is Strange universe, Tell Me Why similarly veers into the supernatural, primarily through Allison and Tyler's ability to speak telepathically and rewatch ghostly replays of key childhood memories together. These visions let you see more of the twins' past and are an effective way to get to know where the twins' relationship left off while simultaneously being with them in the present. In this way, the memory mechanic mirrors their relationship perfectly. And on a practical note, it allows you to remember details to confront folks in town and get the answers you're looking for.
We're back, with details that should help your memory.
Spoiler alert for the first moments of the story. Upon starting Tell Me Why, you immediately see a flashback that reveals how one twin killed their mom in self-defense. That the killing took place is never in doubt. The central conflict is instead figuring out what drove a mother to threaten her own child. I expected more nuance between the lightness and darkness of their mom, but the depictions always felt on the extremes and never explored her mental health issues with any depth. One of the best ideas is that sometimes Allison and Tyler have different memories of the same event, forcing you to choose which memory to believe. I found myself almost equally split between them, which is a testament to how fleshed out and well-written these characters are. I learned to read between the lines, detect their biases, and ultimately make my decision of whose memory to trust. The problem is, since there's no way to really know the truth and thus no consequences for choosing incorrectly, these choices quickly turn into a mundane task I had to do rather than a compelling way to twist the twins' fates. It's worth noting that your overall decisions do impact your relationship strength, which is indicated by this symbol that appears on screen. While the effect of your actions may be clearer with multiple playthroughs, I wished I could feel their weight immediately. I want to have regrets. I want to feel like I picked right or wrong. I want to sit there and not know what to do. Outside of a few stressful exceptions, that rarely happened. The act of snooping around, reliving memories, and asking citizens of Delos Crossing the right questions can be satisfying in itself. That said, there's little that's nefarious enough here to be deeply intriguing. To Tell Me Why's credit, the ending itself is unexpected, but my surprise felt like the result of the story pulling me in too many directions at once, rather than the execution of a clever twist. Much of Tell Me Why's puzzle solving is tied to reading from the well-written fairy tale Book of Goblins, which was written by the twins' mom to parse out key information. It's straightforward enough that you know what you're looking for, but hidden enough that you have to read an entire children's story to find it, which can feel like a chore. Chapter 3 does have a sequence of them I thoroughly enjoyed that made me wish we had more experimental challenges like it throughout. Occasional mini-games also add a layer of lightheartedness, and other types of problem-solving are a bit more exciting. Slowly learning new search terms to pull up police files stand out amongst them. It was reminiscent of Sam Barlow's Her Story, creating the same thrilling anticipation loop where following clues constantly rewarded you with new information. Tell Me Why has a trans character front and center, and it's mostly well handled by Don't Nod. We learn about Tyler's identity as a trans man not through the bigotry he experiences, or by seeing an old ID card in a "bet you didn't see that coming" cliche, but by exploring his room as he packs his things and through conversations with his sister. It makes sense, since that's the same way we learn about everything in Delos Crossing.
Nah, sorry. I'm more of a tea person. Get it?
Similarly, Tlingit culture is also highlighted in the environment and key characters in a way that feels natural for the rural Alaska setting throughout. However, the story invokes transphobia early on, only to quickly switch gears after episode 1. It's an unnecessary bait and switch, exploring the trauma story Don't Nod stated publicly it was actively trying to avoid. While Tell Me Why largely handles its discussions around transphobia and bigotry well, there are times it feels more like a dream scenario than a realistic depiction. It's an earnest attempt to include important conversations that few games do, but Don't Nod struggles to walk the line between being true to the persecution Tyler may experience as a trans man and telling a story where that experience is just a small part of a larger story. Tell Me Why's well-written dialogue, mundane yet charming exploration, and whimsical fairy tale angle makes digging into the town of Delos Crossing a good story with decent puzzles. It's just that the low-stakes decisions and an underwhelming mystery plot left me searching for more depth and consequences in search of the truth. For more on Tell Me Why, check out the opening minutes of Chapter 1, and of course, for everything else video games, keep it here on IGN.